Hey guys, good morning. Welcome. It's good to be back with you. Just want to have a quick shout out, if you don't mind, just to some of those faithful people who have been watching these devotionals. Man, I'm just so privileged to be able to do these short little things for you. It's such a small thing, but to be able to serve you in this way has been a real privilege for me. But thank you to those of you who have hung with me for a good few years now. And I hope that it continues as we are. But we're talking about Matthew chapter 5. We're talking about the Beatitudes specifically. And we're talking particularly about the Beatitudes that says, blessed are the persecuted. Persecuted. Persecution comes in different shapes and forms to different types of people. We have different types of persecution around the world. There are Christians who sadly are losing their lives in the name of persecution and being faithful to Christ, all the way from that extreme to the other one when somebody snubs you in a shop because you might name the name of Jesus and they may not like that or agree with that. So between these two huge poles of disparity, between the two huge poles of extremes, we realize that persecution is out there. And Jesus told us this. He said, don't be afraid of it, don't be ashamed of it, but you better expect it, because people who try and be friends with the world can't be friends with God. So I guess at the end of the day, guys, we have to choose. But there are a couple of specific groups of people that I just want to speak to over the course of the next couple of days. So if you hear this today and you say, man, this may not be for me, please won't you send it to somebody who you know does. I want to talk particularly today to some of the teenagers and the young people out there. Guys, I don't know what kind of pressure you're under, but I know it's extreme. And I do know that the extremist pressure is probably the pressure that comes from social media. I know very little about social media. All I know is it's very damaging when it's negative. When we have these things with cyberbullying, can you believe that people would use a cell phone to bully people around? Where people say things about people that are just not true, where people create innuendos, create suspicions, and drop seeds of doubt into people's minds using social media. And I have seen many kids, many young people who have suffered at the hands of these people who unjustly speak terrible things about them in a public forum. Guys, this is, my heart breaks for you. As you turn on your cell phone or whatever you use for media, and you see that people are bad-mouthing you, people are ignoring you, people are not liking you, and it's all in the name of persecution. When you nail your flag to the mast in social media, you will immediately become the target of some Looney Tune. There's always somebody out there who's going to say something mean and something ugly, something untrue. And so what we have to do is we have to prepare in advance, knowing that this is going to happen. When you guys are on your social media device, which you are on far too much, I think, but that's my opinion, listening to people's opinions about you, it becomes an obsession where what you look like, what you wear, what angle you look at yourself from, how people view you is so important to you. Well, I'm old now, and I guess I can happily say to you, that's really overrated. When you stand before God, God's not going to ask you, what did people say about you? They're going to say, what did people say about me in you? And when we stand before God one day, what people think about you is not going to mean a thing. I know it hurts. I'm not belittling the pain that happens when you guys suffer people doing stupid things on social media. But I want to tell you guys, we have to create an identity that is outside of what we think people think about us. Your identity, young people, is not based on what your peers think, for goodness sake. Your identity is not based upon what your teacher or your sports team or your peers say about you. The greatest peer pressure that you're suffering out there is the peer pressure of public opinion. And as a Christian, unfortunately, you're going to have to stand against that. You're going to have to go in the face of it. You're going to have to put on your big boy and big girl pants, and you're going to have to go out there and you're going to have to face these things, knowing full that with pride, you can stand before people and name the name of Jesus. Do it up front and do it soon, and it'll be a lot easier to do it later. So when we look at social media, we see the power of it. I want to ask you, young people, be remembering, very remembering, that your identity is not found in what people say about you. Your identity is found in what Jesus says about you. Let me tell you what Jesus says about you. Jesus thinks you're awesome. Jesus thinks that you are amazing. Jesus created you for a particular purpose. And as that purpose begins to unfold in your life, Jesus is cheering you on. Even if the world is not cheering you on, Jesus and his angels are saying, way to go, my girl. Way to go, young man. You are going against the flow. You're going against the crowd. I know it's lonely. I know it's painful. I know you want people to like you, but don't overestimate it, because its power in your life can be huge. Take time every day, guys. Here's a little hint. Take time every day, young people, to sit maybe 5 or 10 minutes and just revel in what God says about you. When you understand what God says about you, what people say about you doesn't matter. But if you could just take 5 or 10 minutes every morning or every evening before you go to bed and say, Lord, what do you think about me? So-and-so down the road doesn't think I dress so cool. And so-and-so down the road doesn't think my hair is particularly nice. But Lord, that doesn't matter. What do you think about me? And as you begin to ponder these thoughts, as you begin to go over these things in your mind, peace comes to your heart. It becomes a beautiful place of strengthening. And if you do that consistently, watch what your mind begins to tell you. You'll be able to laugh in the face of social media. You'll be able to laugh in the face of persecution, albeit a lonely place to be. I take that nothing from that. But once you try that, just stand strong. Hold on to what God thinks about you, and let that and that alone create the identity of who you think you are. He's your creator. He made you. He thinks you're awesome. So ponder those thoughts, young people, and have a good day. Bye.